Hello, everyone. My name is Dante McCoy. I am with BlackHouse Logistics, partner of Talent Tech, formerly known as Hub Tech, currently known as one of the best partners that we have at BlackHouse. So as far as the quality of candidates that BlackHouse has received from Talent Tech, I personally cannot say enough about the high-level individuals that come through the door and enter our company. I've worked, very closely with, our account manager, our hub master at Talent Tech, and then also as a director of development, I work very closely with the team members with the interview process. And I just can't say enough about the effort and the attitude of the candidates that walk through the door. And that's something that, myself and President Brent Black, as former athletes, we've always preached effort and attitude. And Talent Tech has been able to provide us that, because we know that with those two qualities, we can build an A player almost instantly, so long as you have those two qualities. And we've been able to do that with pretty much everyone that Talent Tech has brought through the door for us. To elaborate further on that, coming from an athletic background, there's always a level of competition in your mind. But at the same time, there's always a level of culture, team camaraderie. And these things are important, especially when building a business. But not only building a business, specifically building a business in logistics and supply chain, because everything that supply chain encompasses has to do with culture, camaraderie, and the willingness to work. So yes, I mentioned effort and attitude, but there's also different qualities, the willingness to learn, being a good teammate. And there's something that Brett and I, we've said time and time again, and it's a slogan that we say, next man up. The individuals that we bring in with Talent Tech, no matter what the changes, because in supply chain, there are many, many changes, no matter what the changes are, these individuals have always kept that next man up, the same mindset that Brett and I keep. Anytime there's a change, anytime there's whether it be a person leaving, a person shifting gears, shifting positions, all of the Talent Tech reps that we've had have always took that same next man up mentality, and they've been able to achieve or do pretty much anything that we've asked of them. And with the mention of culture, so one thing at BlackHouse, we preach time and time again, is creating a culture of positivity and a culture of just more so a family-oriented environment. I think that breeds comfort, that breeds the willingness to work together as a team. And that's something that all of the Talent Tech members that join us, we make sure that that's very clear, and they embody that rather quickly. And with that said, we have a representative from Talent Tech that works with BlackHouse that I'd like to highlight. Her name is Louisa. She started out as a CSR. We've watched her, move up, become somewhat of a leader just on the floor without having the actual somewhat title of leadership. But now with a lot of the changes, right, that next man up mentality, she's really brought herself to that A player skill set level, which enabled us to move her into a more formal leadership role in the CSR position. And I think, being alongside myself, being alongside Brent, men, athletes, former athletes, and her being a woman, her being a young, empowered, strong woman, us being, from the United States and her being from Colombia, just having to, maneuver through the skill set of one, being bilingual, but also the skill set of being a woman in an industry that's dominated by men, and also being a leader, a woman and a leader in an industry that's dominated by men, and her showing her talents, her skill set, her, fitting in well, her pitching ideas. And this is an individual that 6 months ago, wasn't able to, do the things that she's doing now, but her willingness to develop, her willingness to, really step up to the plate, her willingness to learn, and her willingness to lead her team and lead by example, to me is probably one of the bigger success stories of BlackHouse and of the Talent Tech partnership with BlackHouse, because she's just a prime example of what can happen if you embody a lot of those things that I spoke about earlier: effort, attitude, and just a willingness to be a high level player on a high level team. As far as us building out our culture, I think that is something that Brett and I have kind of had a natural skill at, absorbing people, absorbing humans, and just really understanding the success that it takes to have a successful supply chain culture. And how that ties in with the partnership with Talent Tech is, first and foremost, the account managers and the hub masters here, they bring us high quality talent for us to interview. And in that process, the skill set's there, right? The good thing is with a partnership like this, we already have the trust that they're going to bring us the individuals that we ask for. We're very detailed and intricate in what we need. So they're very detailed and intricate in their search process and bringing us that. So we know the interview is going to come with the abilities. Now that allows Brett and I to focus more so on those personality traits, really dive into the things that we know we need an individual to encompass to fit into our culture, because that is something that the BlackHouse culture is something that no matter who you are, you can feel it if you walk into a room. You can feel it if you hop on a Teams meeting with our team. You can feel the positivity, you can feel the family vibe, and you can feel the eagerness for everyone to work together. And I think the key there is understanding that if you ask the right questions and you vet a person properly, if you sit down with them for 30 minutes, especially under the BlackHouse umbrella, if you sit down with an individual for 30 minutes, you should be able to know and understand whether or not that person is going to fit into your culture. And if you can't identify those things, then you don't need to be in a leadership role. You don't need to be in a role that puts you in a position to add to your team, remove members from your team, because I think that's very important as far as how your team grows and how the future of your team looks. And again, just to touch on the simple fact of the partnership is where that starts, and being able to trust in the talent that's brought to us, knowing that the development aspect is not going to be the difficult part, right? Because we can teach if the skill set's already there. It's just more so about personality, making sure that we select the right individuals, because as we grow, we want to make sure that our remaining culture grows with it. I think a very important, and I would say probably unspoken piece of the partnership is the partnership between obviously BlackHouse management, but also Talent Tech management as well. All day, 5 days a week, I'm with the team members, right? But enough doesn't get said about the job that is done by the Talent Tech management team that provides us these team members. I think enough doesn't get said about the willingness to help us in any aspect, whether it be, if we're having a busy week, right? But we know that there are a couple team members that, we may need to kind of ramp up some discussion on, whether it be some concerns that may have brewed from a one-on-one, whether it be anything. Maybe a team member feels that, they're at that level of skill set where maybe they want to kind of move up within BlackHouse, but maybe they feel they don't know how to have the conversation with us. One thing we do know is they know how to have the conversation with the management team that we partner with at Talent Tech, and that management team does an incredible job at communicating, whether it be negatives, positives, anything that we need to know from our reps that they may not have had the time to discuss with us. Certain topics, obviously Talent Tech being their number one company and us being the secondary, maybe certain topics they're not directly comfortable with speaking with the president, Brent Black, the president of BlackHouse. Maybe they're not as comfortable speaking with him about a topic, so they can go to the Talent Tech management and speak to them about it. And they do a very good job at articulating clearly what is happening and coming up with different strategies on, how to fix certain ordeals, anything that we need, as far as, just from our trip to Colombia alone. They do a great job at being liaisons of, not just team needs. We have reps that are outside of Talent Tech We have US reps, we have reps go all over, but they treat those reps the same way they would treat a Talent Tech rep. And I think that's something that is extremely appreciated at BlackHouse from a relationship standpoint. And that is honestly why Talent Tech individuals make up, 85% of our roster. And it's because of not just the team members themselves, but the management team that we get to partner with as well. I would say if you are a company looking to partnership with, if you're looking to outsource, if you're looking to partner with someone that is, going to help you build your roster, build your team, I hands down think Talent Tech is a company that you want to partner with. Reasons are you're going to get very high level individuals. You're going to get intricacy as far as the things that you need, the things that you ask for. Your Talent Tech team is going to cater to that, and you are going to get a feeling of high level importance. I would say at BlackHouse, we always feel like we're the only company that Talent Tech works for. And if we do know they work with other companies, we definitely feel like we're at the top of the ladder just from how they treat us. So if you want that type of care, if you want that type of intricacy in your business, you want that level of, feeling important and feeling highly valued, then Talent Tech is the partnership for you. Absolutely.